fan saying, can I buy a Flores jersey on the NFL Pro Shop?
Awesome.
I don't know if you can, but I think Dolphins fans are all in. Chargers trying to beat the Patriots. It wasn't going to happen. Chase Vinovich, another Michigan man having a big weekend. Good for him.
Keenan. Come on.
What are we doing?
Throw me the ball.
Hey, it's been a long year for the Chargers. I have a controversial. I don't think Justin Herbert should have cut his hair. That's what I think.
No kidding.
Touchdown Cam Newton. I mean, that's my take. Travis Fulgham should have taken the photo, and Justin Herbert should have never cut the hair.
Rough going for Fulgham again.
Man,
going for
tough
Herbert.
drop late.
I know.
45-0. Blowout. Patriots.
The Colts, Texans. Phillip Rivers will require surgery after the season to repair plantar plate rupture. How about that? Dude is as tough as nails. Second quarter, Colts up 14-10. Who is he looking for? Jonathan Taylor. How about that duo? We're talking about a lot of duos in the league. Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines. Fantastic combination. Taylor, 13 rushes, 93 yards. 3 receptions, 44 yards in that TD. And then here, the Texans have a chance. They're down by 6, literally knocking on the door of the end zone. And Deshaun Watson fumbles the snap, recovered by Anthony Walker, and that would shut the door on the Texans' chance to upset the Colts. The Colts would win this one 26-20. Don't count out these Colts.
Don't count them out. Packers, Eagles, you're only getting one play here. Aaron Rodgers on the precipice of 400 career touchdown passes. And he's going to just chuck it out to Devontae, who stiff arms the bejesus out of the defensive back and gets in. That's 400. He only has 88 interceptions to 400 touchdowns. He said afterwards his goal was to get to 500 touchdowns before he gets to 100 picks. He'd have to go 112, which he's capable of. The Packers also capable of beating the Eagles because they're a professional football team. 30-16. Let's hear from Aaron Rodgers. Big Traeger guy, Aaron Rodgers. Traeger too, probably, but here comes AR after 400 touchdown passes.
You know, they didn't say a whole lot during the week, but it's always interesting to see who gets the milestone throw. Pretty cool that Devontae got it. I didn't do a whole lot on that play. It was a really good scheme play. He did the whole thing and stiff-armed his way in the end zone. But, yeah, you know, it's fun to have those milestones back-to-back weeks. Like I said last week, a lot of it is longevity, but there also is some consistent play tied to it.
Very good.
Jets, Raiders. Derek Carr threw for 381 yards in this game, but it would be the ending that everyone was talking about. Here we go. 4th and 3. Raiders. Looks like the season is essentially, I'm not being dramatic, over on this play. With all the great teams in the AFC, for the Jets to beat the Raiders would be their second straight loss to a team going nowhere. And yet the Raiders somehow get the ball back with 13 seconds. All right, Jets, go to prevent.
Bring the house.
Unbelievable. There's no penalties. There's no flags.
Saving their season.
They needed a touchdown. A field goal wouldn't have done anything, and yet Greg Williams with an all-out blitz. Kudos to the Raiders. They live to fight another day.
Love it. So excited. So many highlights going on, guys. My eyes are doing this thing where they just won't quite wake up.
No,
like the rest of me's had like 4 coffees and I'm bouncing up the walls. But I need to wake up.
All right.
So it is time for, let's do like a zoom in on my eyes being tired, Anthony. That sounds great. Time for GMFB Espresso Shot Moments. What play woke you up week 13?
What woke me up, the Jets having this game won, playing very odd choice of a defense and an all-out blitz, and Henry Ruggs catching the game-winning TD after making a couple of mistakes.
Go right back to it. Woo!
Let's go right back to it. I know, Kyle, you're going to talk about this a little later on, and I can't wait to hear how you break this down. But I just like a wide receiver making a play. It's less about the Jets and more about being in that position before. I know what it's like to drop a ball, fumble a ball, and then coach looking at you on the sideline saying, get out your feelings and get your head back in the game because we're going to come back to you and I need you to make a play. And that's exactly what happened in this one. Shout out to Henry Ruggs. That was my espresso shot that woke me all the way up.
Play of the year for the Jets, too. I like getting an espresso at the end of a nice dinner, and I like when the waiter will say, would you like to make it a double? Hell yes, I would. It's like telling me guac is extra. I don't care. I'm going with a double, and I'll go with a double here. It would have been cool if Chubb and Hunt ran all over the Titans and the Browns won, but it was really exciting that it came on the arm of Baker. And who did Baker Mayfield throw to? Was it Jarvis up and down the field? No. Kendall Lamb. Does CeeDee Lamb even have the best hands for someone named Lamb in the NFL right now? I don't know if he does. Kendall Lamb, undrafted, App State, shout out Daniel Jeremiah, guy who signed with the Texans as an undrafted free agent and now is catching touchdowns in the game of the week for the Browns. And then you go to another household name? No. The other one, the double shot of this thing, was Baker just kept piling on. Donovan Peoples-Jones. Peter, from?
Michigan.
Michigan. It's nice to see a Michigan man doing something constructive on a weekend and winning, putting the hand up. Donovan Peoples-Jones, also a 6th-round pick. This was really cool. A moment for Baker, a moment for the Cleveland Browns. I've talked about it ad nauseum. They haven't been 9-3 since Bill Belichick was their head coach, and before that, Lyndon Johnson was the president. It's a really big deal, and doing it to not the usual suspects. Double shot of espresso for me with a little twist of lemon peel on the plate. I don't mind.
Yeah, speaking of double shots, we talk double guys. Duos are favorites in the league. Nobody here at the breakfast table said Devonta Adams and Aaron Rodgers. I love these two. I love them together more than I even love them separately. So let's go right back. You heard from Aaron Rodgers after this happened. Of course, Rodgers slings it to Devonta, who, by the way, stiff arms Darius Slay, who's having a hell of a year, too. Takes in the touchdown. He gets on his knees and he presents the 400th career touchdown pass to Aaron Rodgers, who, by the way, is the fastest player ever to throw his 400th touchdown pass. Rodgers said he was yelling at Devonta, like, get up, get up, get up. Like, don't make it a big deal. But apparently Adams saw on Twitter before the game that Rodgers was approaching 400 and told his teammates, whoever catches that 3rd touchdown today, do not throw the ball, keep the ball, because I don't think Aaron has any of the century mark touchdown passes. James Jones sort of assuring, yeah, he doesn't, because he threw his 100th touchdown pass into the stands in Atlanta. I owe you 12, sorry. So how, just I can't even imagine in a game the awareness of what a milestone is. We've seen it happen with Brady a ton, Drew Brees a ton. So the fact that he took the time to do that, I thought was really special and very cute.
That was cool. That celebration was sponsored by Neil Lane. People don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, right.
They had a string trio come out. It was very romantic. It was beautiful. I loved it. I loved it, too.
We're a Kay Jeweler show.
Yeah.
We work on a creative sports television show, and I gotta just say...
Allegedly.
No, we do. We do some wacky things and have some bright ideas, and it's very rare that I'm watching another sports television show where I'm like, gosh, I wish we thought of that. Like a great idea, and NBC Sports had one. I never worked for NBC Sports. I work for Fox and NFL Network. I have no skin in this game. I just have to give credit to the producer, Rob Hyland, who does that studio show, the preview show, and Matt Casey is the other producer. And
Matt Casey!
Casey's a fan. And Mike Tirico, who is the host, and that crew of Sims, all that, because they had the greatest idea I've seen to break down a playoff picture. They went to the man himself, Steve Kornacki, MSNBC's guy at the board with all the states, and he broke down the playoff picture with such precision that I was mad and jealous that Good Morning Football didn't think about it. Take a look at how they broke down the playoff picture.
One other big development in the NFC playoff race this week we can show you. It has to do with, you mentioned Minnesota and Arizona. That loss today for Arizona, costly, knocks them out of the 7th spot, knocks them out of the playoffs, puts Minnesota, by virtue of their victory today over Jacksonville, in. But you can see it here. The Pro Football Focus analytics model not sold on the Vikings despite their win today. Look, Minnesota had a narrow win over Jacksonville, narrow win over Carolina. They got Tampa Bay next week. They still got a game with the Saints.
It's fantastic.
Kornacki was amazing for weeks, whether you watch that network or not. His work is fantastic. Khaki pants, he wore them.
Yep.
The sneakers, he wore them.
Rolled up sleeves.
And he didn't do it as a mock. He did it very earnestly and was really good at it. So to everyone at NBC Sports and to Steve Kornacki, that got me out of my chair.
I want more.
Day of watching sports.
You were jealous of another show that's never happened, Peter, for real.
I'm serious. I take a lot of pride in our show.
Yeah.
That blew us out of the water. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, you gave love to them for the audio the other day. A lot of love for NBC Sports. Matt Casey, one of the best producers in the actual world. So shout out to him. I'm sure he'll be very excited about that. Right. We've got a big announcement coming up. It's the most revered honor in the National Football League.